Om Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Pachodaya Om Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Pachodaya Om Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Pachodaya Om Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Pachodaya Om Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitu Varenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yona Pachodaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Shanti, shanti. Shanti, shanti, shanti. This is a nice beginning. Nice beginning. Lovely beginning. Thank you, Ekomananda and Maria. It was lovely. Decided to start with mantra today. It's an unusual thing to do when you're doing jhana. We tend to sort of treat jhana like it's very, very dry. You know, we've arrived, so now it's just nothingness that we deal with. The world just carries on for itself. There's nothing more for us to do, but just attend things nicely. Or is that just an idea? Last night when Ekomananda and I were talking about what we would like to call today's session, I had it in my thoughts that we would, I would address the subject listening silently. Listening silently. Of course, this is meditation. To listen silently. So what do we mean when we say listening silently? Make it feel like a class. Anna-Marie, perhaps would you like to tell me what you think or feel or intuit what listening silently means?
For me, it means keeping the mind still and actively listening without attachment of thought.
Mm-hmm. When we listen, is there any effort needed in listening?
No.
And maybe I'll ask Ekomananda this. And so when we are listening silently, Ekomananda, how does the thought occur?
How it comes, that will be how it goes.
Comes and goes. It's like grapes hanging from a vine. They
Yeah, you eat them. You absorb them.
They're just hanging from a vine, and we're this constant sahaja that we've always been through all of the conscious life, always there, forever there, never not there. And then all of a sudden it occurs to us that we've gotten ourselves into the world and we're a self and we know this self, but it's not who we really are. It's something that we've learned to be. And so up pops the seeker, if we're lucky. The seeker arrives and says, wait a second, who am I that sees the self? So we start searching in the world and searching through our thoughts to find out who I am. That I can't be anything. Yes, Ekomananda?
I'm curious to learn your thought on how the seeker arrives. Like we have 8 billions of a population nearly there. If we look at the proportion of people who are aware, it's approximately 12%, and from some statistics. Let's not dive, whether that's correct or not, but just just an estimation. But why the 88% of the rest of the public is not a seeker, is not even aware? So how did the seeker actually arrive, in your opinion?
Well, we're convinced at first that we're going to find what we want in the material world, and we're conditioned to be this way. And in a way, to train a child how to be in life is necessary. if you were to put a child or an infant into a box, then they'd be little more than an animal. And that's not really fair to animals. Forgive me for saying that, but you know what I mean. So we're born out of ignorance. We're born out of ignorance. We don't know where we are. So we trust that we're given. So all these formulas, you know, when it finally occurs to us that perhaps the self isn't solid, not many people come to this. They do, but, you know, it's always for a reason of bettering themselves in the world. There's always a hook in it. You know, like if I do my yoga and meditation, I'm a better person. But this is mine. We don't know what it is, who I is. If one does a thorough investigation, you can't see the I. You sit in deep meditation, the I is totally mysterious, as is the existence. Existence is, we do not know what this is. It's a total mystery. And that's not an issue, except it's made to be an issue. We're made to fear the unknown. Very, very young. It happens in children really very, very young. Little 2-3-year-olds. I can remember when I was in India and people would be, thousands of people mulling at the train station. So we were all stationary together. And you would get one suspended child being held up by their parents. And I'd be in the crowd somewhere over here, and all of a sudden I could feel the presence of a higher being. And I'd look around to see who was there. And there would be this tiny little child peering deeply into me. Now, you know, perhaps the novelty was the bald head or something, you know, or perhaps the skin. You know, it may have been that superficial. But what I experimented many times, and I'd go toward these wee little babies, these little tiny infants, who were just able to sit up, and they were totally illuminated beings. There was nothing stopping them from seeing everything. They were seeing everything. Their eyes were, you know how when you look into little babies' eyes, they're still the universe. You know? And of course, we have to learn to be in this thing called a body. But is that who we really are? It's too limiting. You know? So little life happens here. I mean, we have to make so much effort that life happens out of this, as always arranged through the body. But if you relax, then there's really very, very little to do except attend things nicely with the dishes, make a little bit of food, share something you have, you know, attend to the duties that are asked of us. That's not hard. And then we end up with this surplus of time where we can just do what we wish. So what do we choose to do? Well, usually people are putting things into their orifices. They're putting things into their orifices to try to sort of satisfy this urge. But what is the urge? Is the knot of the seeker. What is the urge? Because even material people are seekers. Everyone's seeking after something until they're not. When you stop seeking, what are you left with? purity of I as it is. That it is. That. Used to call it God. Can't use that word anymore. But it means everything we be, everything in consciousness. The light of consciousness that has us realize the self, that has us say, I am self-realized. You see it. Now there's that clear space. And we're not used to being in that clear space. Quietly, silently, looking at the beauty that this is. We're not used to this. Just to be in this silence. And it's something that can happen anywhere and everywhere. Very often it is. We can wander around and do our shopping. And really what's happening is we're in deep meditation because we're listening silently to everything. We're observing everything. We might have to remember that we have to get some porridge or something. That's easy. That's just little grapes hanging from the vine. Mind's a good friend once it becomes nice and quiet. It likes to be relaxed. Mind likes to be relaxed. It's only made busy. It's only made frantic. It's only made to be that way. It's a supposition. It's an untruth, unreality. It's made that way. But we have to be constantly seeking after things. But we're already there. This is jnana. This is sahaja. Sahaja, I should explain this. Sahaja is described as the fourth state. So for us in consciousness, how existence occurs is in the waking state, in the dream state, and in deep sleep. And then for Advaita, or non-dualism, they prescribe one other state quality, that which is constantly through all of it. This they call sahaja. So what we are asked to do as neophytes is to look at this very, very carefully until we grasp the sahaja. Sahaja is pure consciousness. It's pure consciousness. And it's also identical to the I, because I exists there. It's also a window for the I, because I is beyond consciousness. But first we establish ourselves in pure consciousness to be easy in that state. And to attend to things nicely. Sometimes we might need to be strong with a teenager or be strong with a landlord or something. That's all right. All those things are just attending to things. You need to attend to things until it stops.
So to those who are more aware, before I go further, I love what you said. Everybody's a seeker. This is something that I did not aware. We can see the people who are more spiritual, who are practicing yoga and meditation, we consider them to be, the true seeker. And what you said, everybody's a seeker. That is sort of a...
Until we're not.
It's brilliant, yes.
Until we're not. And there is
what they seek does not give what they wanted.
Yeah,
does not give them the happiness, joy, and these states of being.
It's not lasting. We can. It's like food. Food becomes tiresome after a while. You have to do it every day.
Now, if we're speaking towards to the more sort of aware people who are actively, sort of know what they're seeking, but it's not quite getting it there. where do you think they're entangled?
Well, from not knowing what, they've forgotten what they're actually seeking, because all they're seeking is themselves. That's all there is. But
People
then we
often
fall
say
back
that
on us, and then we have to go, and what happens when we first have this realization, that we have to check over the points, because there's the accumulated self through experience, and you sort of say, what of which should I carry with me? Well, no, you don't have to think about that. That's just thinking. It will happen naturally. And like if there's any disturbance, it will happen, and you go, whoops. You forgive yourself, maybe apologize for a behavior or something if it's needed, and then back to what this is, which is the I, the pure I, the I before consciousness, the one that sits before consciousness, that sits before awareness. This is what meditation is for, because as we ground ourselves there, we become naturally more distanced from mind. And we get the gaps in mind become greater and greater and greater, until you realize that I just went through 3 hours and there wasn't a thought that even came up. Consciousness can attend to mind really lovely, just calls on it. Someone asks a question, or, like there's something we know that we need to attend to, so it comes up, and the mind will say, should we attend to this? Yes, we probably should attend to that, because that's something that needs to be done. Let's do that. Get that done. Very nice. Enjoy it. Or we have the opportunity to do something. That's fine. I'm shifting this word about doing. I like to call it attending the things. We just attend to things. We don't do anything. Yes, love. Yes, Ekomananda.
so people get lost. That is because they actually don't know what they're seeking for. They claim that they are looking for the truth. They claim that they are seeking the self. So the answer lies on understanding the self, because the truth is the self. They're looking for to find the true self. What is the true self? Based on what we have studied so far, the true self is the I. But where is the I? As in individually, we have a different perception or understanding or awareness of what the I is. Once
Right.
we grasp
Yeah.
the I, we kind of slowly come closer to the truth or to the light.
The moment you have the realization that the self is an I, that the self is accumulated experience and development, it's also something that Nisargadatta always says, the self is created out of the self's love to be. So it's love that actually brings things to the surface in love, even if it means getting the attention of our parents, or personally loving doing a certain activity. Most people were developed between the very, very first part of their life and middle 20s. And from there on, the self becomes almost rock-like. It's well formed. And we might have revelations where all of a sudden we find ourselves doing something at the age of 25, and it was something we projected for ourselves at the age of 15. And we go, I've been doing this all this time. And that was just a childhood projection. I've lived by this. So we have these revelations. So there's a series of revelations. And perhaps there is a critical mass that these revelations come to, where you see enough of it to say, hang on, the self isn't reliable. So where can I go? And there's a quandary there. So this is when we usually go into very, very deep meditation. And in this moment, then we go beyond revelation, and we have what's called realization. Realization is different than revelation. realization. And people usually announce this by recognizing certain qualities, light, infinite space, infinite light, infinite emptiness. These are the jhanas. These things occur to us, and people have them quite spontaneously. It might happen in a death experience. It might happen in some trauma experience where their relationships break down. Nothing they really do is making the happiness that they hope for. And so this leads to the great questioning, where you say, okay, I'm going to deal with the knot once and for all, because we become tired of the knot. The knot is gnawing because the knot is the mind's grip on the self to always be dissatisfied with where it is. Always to be dissatisfied, in some way, be dissatisfied. And so we overcome that. So the moment one becomes really established in meditation, and we can do meditation for a long time without understanding exactly what it is we're seeking. So this becomes a really forced exercise. And we do get revelations, things like Vipassana are excellent modes, particularly when you get past Anapanasati, where it's softened out, and now we're in the cellular illuminated state of light in the self. And it's quite exquisite to be in this, because we feel this in happiness, but it's fleeting. But we feel this cellular physical relationship that seems to meet up with the sky. And it's pure in itself, and you go, and this is beautiful. We come out of Vipassana or something, or a really good meditation, and say, that's it. We try to clutch it. What we need to do is just recognize what it is, just to look at it very, very carefully. Really see it. This is where Sahaja is very, very important, where we just settle into that thing which is always constant. So this is the last thread, is to see that is constant all the way through, even in deep sleep. And there's amazing revelations even in this, if they need to be happening. There's even consciousness here. This whole world is just filled with consciousness. The consciousness isn't an end in itself, but we have to establish ourselves here first. That's very, very important. Establish ourselves here first. Otherwise, we become nihilistic.
I actually noticed your camera has been blocked one corner. It's black. If you look at your screen, there's one corner is being blocked.
Yeah. There.
You look at your screen.
All right. Yeah, that's the end of my screen.
Yeah, there's a black. There's a slice of blackness. You blocked your camera somewhat.
All right. It must be nothingness. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I think it must be nothingness. Sorry, my child will come out again if you start playing with me here. I'm dreadful. I'll start wanting to play with it. Go, here we go. Half. That's the other side of who we are. That's the nothingness part. And so, this is why I think there's a lot going on about jhana at the moment, and it's all very sophisticated and very sharp, and also very, very beautiful. There's lots of jhana teachers who have all popped out of the woodwork. They've all come out of the Navnath Sampradaya. They're all part of the same orders, but we're all influenced by the same masters. It's all coming forward, right? So, okay, so once we get there, I think, well, now it's a celebration. That's why I asked Ekomananda to do the Gayatri mantra, because I think there's beauty everywhere. And for us here who have become established in meditation and who are establishing ourselves in Sahaja, we recognize the eye on eye and the impossibility of actually finding any definable eye at all, and the beauty of that, the freedom of that, the fearlessness of the unknown, fearlessness of it, because there is no death. There is no death because I'm not body or mind anymore. I'm the full expanse of consciousness and beyond. And I experience that every day. It's there as a background of I, even in this functional self, which will remain until this body gets thrown, and goes back to the earth and feeds the plants and does what it needs to do.
In terms of we are not the body, we are not the mind, and it reminds me a small exercise or something that I learned elsewhere. The explanation is, if we touch our hand, we know we are touching the hand. There is a thought there. There's a sensor thought. And this act of touching. And the thought of I'm going to touch my hand and the feeling of I'm touching my hand, experiencing that softness on my hand. But the hand is not aware that the eye is. So the eye is aware that the touching, this action is being happened. But the hands, the touching feeling itself, cannot aware the initiative, the I. Therefore,
yes, this is a gift of creation. This is a gift of creation, this here. So, this experience is one of our many fleeting experiences. And I think what you were saying is about conceptualization, isn't it? I always found it interesting when my mother would say, you were conceived on an oak table. We were conceived. We were conceived. Jeffrey Wayne was conceived. His name was picked out of a birth book. There was 7 or 8 Jeffreys in all my school classes all the way through. It was the name for the time. It was all conceived. It was all made to be. That's what the self is. The artist, everything. There's certain parts which we sort of say, that's mine. I learned to draw. Oh, no, my father taught me to draw. And I just attended it. You see, we've attended everything according to what we picked up. So we're attending those things. And, we could be facetious or cynical about that and sort of say this is part of the ant farm. With a universal food farm, like this is a good article, it is wicked, universal food farm. And, we're hive dwellers. Human beings are hive dwellers, so we cooperate with one another to create lots of little units to sort of do our nesting and whatever it is that we do. And of course, this is there's so much variety in us as human beings. We're so sophisticated. So there's all these things we're attending. It's all very beautiful, like this is all, there's no problem with all these things we're attending. In fact, we could be so incredibly opulent if we knew how to share it all. It would be so easy because we're all so fabulously wealthy in ourselves, even if we're down to just our understanding. Even that is worth more than a pile of gold. I wouldn't give it away for anything. Not that you could. See? So, but there's no nihilism in this. It's just a beauty. That's one thing I want to sort of say, like, it doesn't mean that we end up, once we come to the realization, very often, because it usually occurs to us as light, and then we get the infinite consciousness. So there's all possibilities. And this links back into the etheric mind. And we, start thinking we could change and mind the knots of the seeker return again. These things which says I can make that change and I can do that and I can do that. And we get into things that we don't have to do. And you just let it be. You let the world sort it out, unless it's ours to really attend. Yeah, yeah. If like if it's been in your attention to be a healer, carry on. It will happen really, really naturally. If there's a certain set of abilities that you've been given, good, carry on. Because the self's love to be is there too. We don't have to forsake the self to be clear. You don't have to forsake the self to be clear and to be totally fulfilled. Because there's delightful things in the self too. It's all just built up out of love if we look at it very, very carefully. We might have our contentious mind states, but these are just the grapevines that we've gotten juice out of in the past. Because, human beings love drama. They gossip and do horrible things just to get some juice going. People do it. It's just, like anything, just to fill up the space quickly. We're sitting here silent, having a lovely time, loving one another, sharing a cup of tea. We'll sit there and love one another. Don't have to gossip about Jill down the road or something. Let her be. Wish her well. She's okay. Wish her well. Look at the things, that we can, share and give gratitude for. Because these things occur for us as well. Yes, love. Just take a minute.
So how do we help people to realize that they are not looking for what they're supposed to be looking for?
It will naturally show up. People will ask you. People will see it. They see it in you. They see it. Some people might even contest it. Like there's also this that goes on. There are lower qualities. There's jealousy and these other things that go on in people. And so, once you've given it up, that's enough. I'm not going to be part of any of that iniquity anymore. I don't need to be. People will naturally come towards you. And it might be just one or two people.
We wait, we do nothing. I see.
Just attend. People come to you, and you'll see it inside the person. Sometimes it will occur to you in dream. It can happen in a number of ways. It's a different life. The spiritual life is a different life. You walk into light, and sometimes, for how we've been conditioned to see this world and the way this world's set up, at first for a lot of seekers, when they do become realized, it looks like a desert, this world. There's nothing in this world that you want. But that's right. But if you relax, then it's all fine, because you just see the delight of things and everything's fine. Everything's really fine until it's not. And then you just can help out. There's an opportunity. You'll know what it is when you need to attend something. It's very clear. And consciousness utilizes mind in a completely distinct way. It comes out of clarity. And if it's not, then we just trip over our feet a little bit and go, okay, I didn't quite execute that with the type of clarity I really wanted to. So for whatever that is, we can tidy that up and say, okay, very good. And then just let that go. Let it go. Don't sit it in a big set of thoughts you have to hold to be a good person. Forget about all this. You are a good person. You are a loving person. The natural state is lovingness. Even if it's dead quiet and for how you occur to the outside world is totally stoic, you are pure love. That's all you are. But however you are, you're pure love. And we walk this. And we learn to walk Sahaja, that pure state which has always been here, with us, as us, through us. The most pure thing has always been here. It always will be here. There's never a time when it's not been here. So we're supported in that, even in the substance, as a substance. It's not nothing. There's a substance to it as well. We don't get obsessed with the substance. We don't expect it to become a world of love or easiness. Sometimes attending to things can appear like a duty. Sometimes those things might be hard for the body. It's all right. It's only a little period of time. They're such little periods of time. Even this life is such a little period of time. And the more we relax, and this is a good point to bring in on this aspect of time, even time is an illusion. And the substance of experience is illusion. Because students have started appearing in the conversations of these places. Of course, some more advanced meditators want to get to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And I contemplated this very, very deeply, for what the Samadhis are. All these qualities are within us simultaneously, except usually how Samadhi occurs is as concentrations which burst through us. So we get this excitement around the experience. So it occurs as light, or consciousness just looks to need no name or form. And for the body-mind state, for as long as we're in this state, to sustain Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you can't do it as a concentrated state all the time. This is why it's there, evened out over time. It's always there, like a drip of nectar. It's just like nectar there, feeding us. Because it's in the creation as well. Of course. It's in the creation as well. Not in the cell. It's throughout everything. It's in everything. So we need special eyes to see clear, just clear. Practicing. So the walking meditation, doing the shopping meditation, washing the dishes meditation, all these, helping the neighbor meditation, all these things, patting the dog meditation. Every act is just attention to where it needs to be. And everything is a pure meditation. And, it's lovely. And, you find it hard not to smile all the time. And, of course, that's attractive. And every so often you'll bump into a light being and you'll just give a knowing smile to one another. It's very lovely. Yeah. And that's okay. You give a little nod to the person, they go, yeah. So I just saw a golden one. That's very nice.
So Maria, share as you wish. You can raise your hand and then you can talk. So this way we don't interrupt each other, but be free to share. We'd love to hear your stories, your thoughts, your ideas, and whatever comes up. Don't be shy.
Well, right now I'm feeling very light and joyous and just listening. I have nothing else to offer for the moment. Yeah.
That's everything. That's everything.
Okay.
That's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything. That's everything. That's that. That's it. That's Sahaja. That's it. That. And you just go, yes, okay, that. It's very, very easy. See? All that, that work, now no more work. No more work, just attending that nicely. And if we slip into a little bit of quagmire, we just say, okay, whoops. Well, that was a little bit of fun, but I shouldn't go there. I'll just clean that up, and here we go, back again. And for whatever works for you, whatever meditation works for you. Yes, Melinda?
Just to complement what Anna Maria shared, there will be many moments we experience through all kinds of spiritual practices. And we get to a point that we have nothing to say. We have no more words, and we feel emptiness. In it, inside that emptiness is fullness. You've got everything in it.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize that we are full.
It's done. Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's
We go
done.
outside looking for something,
It's only
seeking.
mind that pulls it down. It's only mind that pulls it down. Mind will come in and go, hang on, this is not enough. You have to be walking like Jesus or Buddha. Or so, well, you are. You are. How do you think they were? Honestly, I mean, all the stories that everyone makes of it is, neither here or there. It's, like, of course, these things are going to look miraculous. Many things look miraculous. Because, sometimes people come out of a really radical circumstance and it feels like they're being pulled up. So for whoever that being was, they feel so grateful. So much so they try to put that into words in their own humble way. For them, it's like being born again. So this is why we have these avatars announced the way they are, but it's not in the stories, it's in the quality of being. It's Buddhahood, Christhood, Krishnahood, all the great avatars. These, they're in all its different forms. Some will, like Ramana, will just have like a loincloth, and that's all he wore, and others dress like a prince or a princess. And for wherever we are, we just take our natural state because that's beautiful as it is. And that's all the masters are putting out for us, because there's not one master, there's a myriad of masters. And they're all here supporting you depending on what it was that their attention was toward. And this is very real for us in this world, so let it be. We're not traveling alone in any place, in any way. We're never alone. And the beautiful quietude we can share with the master. There you sit in samadhi with the master. Master sits in Mahasamadhi, wherever that. And, that's beautiful. You tune into it. Ramana was that for me. Christ is that for me. Buddha is that for me. Isagadatta is that for me. Many masters. Many, 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 many. Yeah. And it's rich. And, like there isn't an end. There's not an end. There's still flowers that are going to grow, and that's right. Enjoy this. Doesn't go, well, that's it now. I'm sort of just waiting to die or something. Throw this body. It's too tiresome. I mean, because, like sometimes it does feel like a puppet. But, it's all right. There's more flowering to have. And so let it be. Let it be. See what happens. Enjoy it. Enjoy the self too. Yeah? Be playful, be loving. Yeah? Love the self like a child. Yeah? He'll paint silly pictures and do all these things. Let him be. He's fine. He's beautiful. Or you have special abilities. You know? Ekomananda, you have special abilities. Let it be. For as long as they're needed, let it be. It's beautiful. This is the self's love to be. Let it be. You know? We don't forsake these gifts. The ancestral gifts are there for many of us too. Yes. And share that as well. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. We don't need to worry about even cleansing. It happens all naturally. The moment do you have the revelation of who you really are, right? And then sustain that and the realization of, I am that. I am that. I'm pure consciousness. I'm before consciousness. I am the unborn. I never dies. I am that. These are the fruits of consciousness, not mind, not concepts. So it's all done. And the knot of the seeker is finished. The knot was always just mind trying to sit on the throne. But I, as consciousness, is that sits on the throne. Because everything occurs to us through consciousness, not through thought. Thought is just an annex, an adjunct, a facility, a tool, a helper. But only that. It's not an entity unto itself. It's just a function. So why would we bow down to such a thing? And sometimes, things will occur to them in the mind, a thought will arise, and all you can do is laugh. It's so silly. I remember spending 1 week in meditation. That's all I did was laugh. The mind played every single monkey trick, every single habitual form of mind that occurred to me, and it was concocting them in all these different ways to try to get the attention. It was so habituated in the self. And all I could do was laugh. Just laugh. It was so silly. And then I started saying things like, "You're a funny thing. You're a funny thing. Why would you think that's a good idea? Where did you come from? Where did you borrow that from? Who taught you that idea? That doesn't serve you." There's beautiful things to be part of, and for where we can give our attention. This opportunity of doing internet, and I have to thank Ekomananda for that, or bringing that forward. And she's very clever with these mediums. I wouldn't even be able to think about it. And yes, you see, And so then it's just an opportunity for us to meet and to be, for whatever it needs to be, just to say hello. And, yeah.
That's beautiful. And perhaps you could, if you allow us to maybe have an hour meditation, that'll be beautiful. I've put up a gallery view, so everybody's on the screen right now on YouTube.
We'd
Would you
just
like?
be sitting, do a sit for a little while.
Yeah, you can talk as you wish. That'll be just your guided meditation, your way of guiding, sharing.
I think we're pretty good for meditation. I think we could almost do it with our eyes open. Oh, we are settled into the purity of I, Sahaja. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ekomananda, Anna Marie, bringing this beauty here. Purity of this. Purity and the opportunity for this. So relaxing. Relaxing. Into the clear, pure emptiness, consciousness. Let everything be. Gratitude to existence, to be here. This is beautiful. Love is here. Deep gratitude, purity of gratitude. The purity of meditation. Deep, long gaps between thought. Listening. Meditation. Tending to everything in meditation. Grasping the Sahaja, fourth state, that's always been with us, that is here with us in the deepest sleep, constant, that quietude. that can walk through a busy crowd and be just this, as I am, that I am. Smiling, greeting, speaking out of the heart. Tending to things nicely, meditation, and sahaja. Allowing mind to be the helper when it is. Meditation. Perceiving the eye as it is, pure and empty, bathed in the unknown, is assurance, is fearlessness, such concepts are absurd to the eye. Eye doesn't need concepts. It's beyond. Eye has never been tainted. Eye has never been touched. All experience. Like walking through a giant garden. Plants, and flowering plants, and prickly plants, and a whole number of plants. This experience, it's a gift. Now we walk in meditation. Now it's easy. Being free of desire, being free of the knot of the seeker. This is the freedom. And life just occurs. It's a gift and a mystery and a simplicity. purity of meditation persists. Being free of the knot of the seeker is being free of the seeker. The seeker is finished. I has always been. There's nowhere to arrive to. I has always been. Seeker is finished. No effort in meditation. Relaxing into sahaja, relaxing into meditation. That's all that's necessary. Just be that. No effort. Happens naturally. To enjoy the quietude, to enjoy the peace. It's done. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This purity is Sahaja. This purity is Sahaja. Just gently open your eyes, but stay with the meditation. Just gently, gently. Stay with the meditation. Come back to the room. Staying with the meditation. Staying with it. You don't come back after meditation. You just stay here. Walk this, be this. Be this, as it is. Mm. Mm. Well, how beautiful. That was very lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a lovely session we've had this morning. What a lovely session. What a lovely session. Very beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Ekomananda. Lovely. Just here. This is all. It's lovely, lovely. Walk it, be it, be it. Do our dishes as well. Mm? Nothing special. Mm? Nothing special. And we're always together. No division in the art. Always together. Always together.
Thank you very much, Sunyata, for sharing your divine energy, your guidance, your patience, pure wisdom.
do next time through, perhaps. Stay connected. Let's be together, stay connected.
Until the next session, that would be the 1st of June, I believe it's a Saturday evening, 5 to 7 at a later time. So please feel free to join us from worldwide and use the materials that we have been recorded on YouTube. Subscribe and share it with your friends and family members. Love and light to all.